Hello and welcome to the ID Talk podcast. My name is Peter Counter and I am the editor-in-chief of FindBiometrics, which is reporting live from Las Vegas, where the biometrics and identity industry has converged on ISC West, the world's premier security conference. The crowds are back at ISC West this year, and so is our own Doug OGorden, who is busy tracking down the leaders in identity and biometrics on the show floor. That's why, on this special episode of ID Talk, he catches up with Santiago Jaén Urieta, sales manager for Aratek, a leading vendor of multi-biometric technology. Urieta gives us a rundown of the many Aratek solutions being showcased at ISC West this year, including new TrueFace biometric products and fingerprint scanners aimed at access control, time and attendance, and expanded use cases like national ID. The conversation goes on to explore how the pandemic affected the acceptance of fingerprint biometrics before gazing into the future of identity, which Urieta sees as multifactor and multimodal in nature. This interview hits on many of the crucial topics in the larger biometrics conversation right now, so let's get right to it. Here is FindBiometrics' Doug OGorden and Aratek's Santiago Jaén Urieta live at ISC West.
Hi, FindBiometrics listeners. Doug OGorden here, live from the ISC West show. It's day 2. It's the end of the day, and I'm lucky to have Santiago Jaén Urieta from Aratek. He's the sales manager. Santiago.
That's correct. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, Doug.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm good. How was day 2?
Great. A little bit tired, but good.
It was another crazy day of walking around the show. Seeing lots of people. What are you showcasing at ISC West this year?
Yeah, so right now we have been producing new models during this year for facial recognition solutions for access control and time and assistance. So basically what we are doing is trying to explore new verticals, new markets, new products that we can develop. So that's what we have been doing. Actually, we have different kinds of biometric series. So we have been showing our new scanners for fingerprint readers, such as verification for national ID, passport emission, driving license emissions, also for other kind of solutions, such as, for example, voting election. We have different kind of scanner ranges from FIP 20 to FIP 45. And we have also new mobile terminals for outside solutions. So we have been showing all of those. Also the new devices with the TrueFace series, which is the ones we use for the actual access control and time and attendance. When we will show facial recognition also, we will use different features such as QR code reading and also NFC reading. All those parameters and authenticators could be combined, but we are following different strategies, and we know that different partners have different needs, so we will be able to remove different features from the actual device. That's what actually makes us a little bit different from competitors, because we are a supply manufacturer chain and we are able to control those features, and we are able to reduce the cost and also provide a great customer experience for our clients.
How has the pandemic affected the market for fingerprint sensors? And is there still a demand for this technology? And if so, what kinds of use cases are driving the demand today?
Yes, right now I think that the pandemic has affected, but it has affected by not too much. I have seen like the demand is still increasing for fingerprint readers.
Sure.
The impact has been low. We could detect and we could see that, for example, for access control, the clients were requesting fingerprint readers for access control. Right now they want to have everything touchless.
Yeah.
So we are providing more facial recognition solutions to integrate to their systems. I saw many new and really interesting technologies right now. I have seen, for example, a palm recognition solution. I have seen facial with touchless fingerprint. I think it's really interesting how the industry is evolving and the new tendencies that the market is experiencing. So has been affected, but not too much, I will say.
Yeah, I think our research shows that facial is still the one that's getting most of the most of the attention.
Yeah,
but we've seen that fingerprint has now kind of evened out before pandemic. The research that we see shows that fingerprint's back to where it was in the mix.
Yeah.
People aren't scared with the being contagious off of your finger.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Though.
Well, last question is, we do an annual research project. We've been doing it for 19 years.
Oh, okay.
Next year's our 20th year. And we always ask this question about, what do you see the market looking like in 6 to 9 months? Like, by the end of the year, what's your crystal ball prediction on, what's going to be used for ID and authentication or through the biometrics? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, right now, like, demand for facial recognition is increasing, but I see that there is a big percentage of new projects growing in terms of voting election, national ID, passport emission, driving license emissions. All those kind of projects
digital wallet, mobile ID.
Requires fingerprints, and right now there is new wearables, for example, for telephones, and still requiring fingerprint verifications, right? Also, I think that various governments around the world are incorporating now fingerprint biometrics for citizenship verifications. And that lead us to actually create new platforms and new way to verify ourselves. For example, with payment systems or financial systems, how to verify yourself when you make a transaction. Right now, they are still using fingerprint modules, and they're still using facial recognition now. And now is also, I have heard from actually someone in the show has told me that now it's going to be recognized also by the voice. So you can have 3-factor authenticator with a fingerprint, also your face, and also your voice. So it's really interesting how the industry is changing, and I think that in the future, not in the near future, but maybe in the next 10 months, we're going to see more demand for facial recognition solutions. But I think that we are going to maintain that fingerprint verification as the main asset for verification purposes all around the world.
Just multifactors.
Yeah, multifactors, exactly, for office control and things.
Awesome.
Like that. Yeah.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
Have a great night, and get to bed early, because day 3 is tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, though. It's
nice
been a
meeting you.
And nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And so concludes our interview with Santiago Jaén Urieta, Sales Manager for Aratek. To learn more about the topics discussed in this episode, visit aratek.com. And for more identity and biometrics industry coverage straight from ISC West, stay posted to FindBiometrics.com. I'd like to thank Santiago again for joining us on this podcast, and thank you to OGorden for conducting the interview. Our podcast theme music is by Logomrad. I have been your host, Peter Counter. Thank you for listening to the ID Talk Podcast.